Yesterday, I given literals. Literals, how many categories divided? How many categories? 4. What is first one? Numeric literals. Second one, string literals. Third one, Boolean literals. Fourth one, object literals. Okay. See, 4 categories of literals. First one, numeric literals. Second one, string literals. Third one, Boolean literals. Fourth one, object literals. 4 categories of literals. Okay. Numeric literals, how many subcategories? 7. What are those? Decimal literals. Next, hexadecimal literals. Next, octal literals. Next, binary literals. Next, floating point literals. Next, exponential literals. Next one, big int literals. Okay. See, literals divided into 4 categories: numeric literals, string literals, Boolean literals, object literals. Numeric literals divided into 7 categories: decimal, hexadecimal, octal, binary. Okay. These 4 you have seen yesterday. These 3, how it will be, I'll show you directly in the program. I'll give instead of separate. Floating point literal, exponential literal, big int literals, program only I'll give. String literals, 2 types: single line string literal, multi-line string literals. Not these all you written already. Now, string literals, write it any. String literals. String literals are divided into 2 subcategories. First one, single line string literals. Second one, multi-line string literals. String literals. String literals are divided into 2 subcategories. First one, single line string literals. Second one, multi-line string literals. Single line string literals. Second one, multi-line string literals. String literals are divided into 2 subcategories: single line string literals, multi-line string literals. Is it over? Writing is over. Say, these all literals directly I'll show you in a program. Okay. Now you observe these 3. I'll write here. This is first one. This is second one. So total these many literals are there. Literals, 4 categories. This one, 7 subcategories. This one, 2 subcategories. Before this, some concepts you studied. identifiers completed, keywords completed. Okay, identifiers completed, keywords completed. Now these are literals. For these literals, if you want to store these literals, data types required. Say in other programming languages, you'll write like this. Already everyone learning other programming languages. So int a equal to 10. Like this we are writing. Okay. In this line, how many concepts are there? You observe this line. This int is called data type. This int is called data type. Okay. This a is called variable. Okay. This 10 is called literal. This 10 is called literal. Okay. This int is called data type. A is called variable. 10 is called literal. And this equal to symbol is called operator. Okay. And this int we can also call in other languages keyword. Okay. This a we can also call identifier. Here you observe JavaScript different. I'll explain. JavaScript is different, not like this. Already I told you Python, Java, C#, even if you are familiar with these languages also, JavaScript is different. It is one more language. It is one more independent programming language. Syntax is totally different. JavaScript is totally different. Okay, that's what you must concentrate. Even if you are perfect in Java, Python, C# also, you should concentrate for JavaScript. Okay. Say, generally, maximum programming language, in a maximum programming language, like this will write. Maximum programming language, we are going to write like this. Okay. This int is called data type. This data type is a keyword also. It is predefined, reserved. That's what keyword. But this a is a variable name. But this a, we written our self-identification purpose. That's what identifier. This equal to symbol, it is operator. This 10 is a literal. This 10 is a literal. Every statement must be terminated with semicolon. The semicolon is a syntax. So in a one line only, 6 concepts are there. In a one line only. You observe. Identifier, keyword, literal, data type, variable, operator. This order you are going to learn. First you will study identifiers. So already over. Second you will study keywords. It is over. Third literals. That is over. Now data type, variable, operator. 3 more concepts are there. So in a one line only, here in a one line only, 6 concepts are there. In a one line only. These 6 concepts you are learning. If you want to write like this, one line, 6 concepts required in a programming. 6 concepts. Okay. You observe, if you write like this, what will be happen is, for A, some memory allocated. In that memory, 10 will be stored. That memory referred by name A. So, int A equal to 10 if you write, for this A, some memory allocated, in that memory, this 10 is going to be stored. 10 is going to be stored. So, one line if you write, like this, memory allocated in a RAM, in that RAM, this 10 will be stored in that memory. This memory referred by A. Like this, we are using. Here, A is a identifier. A is a identifier, variable name, function name, class name, method name. We are calling like a identifier. So this is the variable name. It is an identifier. For writing this identifier, whatever you studied identifier related rules, you must to follow. You must to follow. How many rules are there? 5 rules. What is the first rule? It can be formed by using alphabets, digits, underscore symbol, dollar symbol. So here for writing this identifier, you need to follow 5 rules. First rule, you can write capital letters, you can write small letters, you can write digits, you can write underscore symbol, you can write dollar symbol. These only allowed. That is first rule. What is second rule? It must begins with alphabet, underscore or dollar symbol. For writing that one, you must write alphabet or underscore dollar starting. But digit you cannot write as starting. As a first letter, not possible. That is second rule. What is third rule? The length of the identifier is not limited. There is no limit in the length. N number of you can write in JavaScript. Okay, n number of letters you can write. That is third rule. What is fourth rule? It should not contain special symbols other than underscore and dollar symbol. These two symbols we should not write. We can write. Other symbols we cannot write. Underscore dollar only we can write. Other than these two we cannot write. Because other than these two, remaining all operators performing operation purpose result, you should not write. What is fifth rule? It should not contain white space characters. Nothing but space bar, tab, enter key. These three you should not write in a variable identifier rule. Okay. Already you studied yesterday which are valid, which are not valid. You studied, no? You must follow. It is not like HTML. It is not like a CSS. HTML, CSS, if you do mistakes also program is running, no? But JavaScript, it's small mistake also mistake only, error comes. Okay, it is programming language. Now, for this one, you need to follow identifier rules as well as keywords. Keywords you studied. Keywords are reserved words. Total, how many keywords at present? 48 keywords are there. Initially, how many? 56. How many newly added? 8. How many recently removed? 16. 2015 JavaScript totally changed. 2015 onwards. So 9 years back. But actually when JavaScript introduced? 1995. 1995 JavaScript introduced. After 20 years, it is totally changed. 2015, it is totally changed. Okay, 2015 totally changed. 8 years. 2015 changed. 8 years back, JavaScript is totally changed. New concepts introduced. Same like a Java type. Maximum Java type, new concepts. But old concepts are not related to Java. It is different. I'll explain. That is this. I'll explain everything. Here, for writing this one, keyword, integer is a keyword. This keyword, now this keyword not there in JavaScript, leave it. That is removed. Now, keyword. Keyword cannot be used as an identifier. So, here while writing this A, the 48 keywords are there, no? We should not write as identifier. That is also one rule. That is also one rule. Okay. Now, for writing this one, you need to follow identifier rules and you should not write keyword. Okay. Now, literals. Literals, numeric literals only 7 literals are there. 7 types. Okay. String literals 2 types are there. Now, Boolean literals, object literal. 4 categories of literals are there. So, this side we can write. These 7 types you can write. String literal 2 types you can write. 9. Boolean literal 1. Object literal 1. 7 plus 2, 9. 9 plus 2, 11. 11 types you can write literals. 11 types you can write literals. These identifier rules you have to follow. Okay. Equal to symbol common. Semicolon optional. In a JavaScript, whether you write semicolon or not, it works. But better to go for semicolon. Better to use semicolon. If you write also valid, if you don't write also valid. Flexibility they given. That's what. If you don't write semicolon, valid. If you write semicolon, valid. But in a one line only, more than one statement, if you want to write semicolon, compulsory. Next line, if you want to write semicolon, optional. Without semicolon, with semicolon works. Not a problem. Flexibility given. But you better to follow semicolon. Okay. Because if you don't write semicolon, what will happen? While writing Java program also, you may forget. That will be happen. Okay. But Java compulsory, no? Java compulsory. Semicolon. Like that. That is the reason better to follow semicolon. Now, this data type is this data type no need to specify in JavaScript. Without writing data type, it is data type by default assigned. It is automatically, it will recognize. That is also flexibility given. It is loosely typed programming language. Data type no need to write. Weakly typed also will call. Loosely typed also will call. But other language, strongly typed, compulsory you have to write data type. You have to mention. But JavaScript, without writing data type, type decided. Any type of data can be stored. Any type of data can be stored.
Recording in progress.
You observe. Data type, any type data you can store. Because here dynamic typed programming language. It is dynamically typed, weakly typed, loosely typed. Different people, different type they are calling. Okay. Different terminology they are using. Dynamically typed means data type decided dynamically. Loosely typed nothing but no need to write data type. Weakly typed means same meaning. Without writing data type, you are writing program. That's what weakly typed. No need to mention type. That is a concept. Now, identifier keyword literals. Next one, just data types variables. Then I'll start programming. Okay. These all directly I'll give in the program. Better. Only if it's C theory, you may get a different type. Programming, you'll get an interest. Okay. Now, next data types. Note down. Next heading, data types. A data type that determines what value can be stored in a variable and what are the operations can be performed on variable. A data type that determines what value can be stored in a variable and what are the operations can be performed on variable. A data type that determines what value can be stored in a variable and what are the operations can be performed on variable. A data type that determines what value can be stored in a variable and what are the operations can be performed on variable. So data type decides what value should be stored, what are the operations possible. That is actual data type definition. But data type is no need to write in JavaScript. I'll show you. I'll explain that. Notes also I'll give. See, actually, if numbers are there, suppose this is one number, this is one number. Now, this is number, this is one number. On this, addition can be performed, subtraction can be performed, multiplication can be performed, division can be performed, modular division can be performed, power also can be performed, less than, greater than, like that. 40 plus operations possible. 40 plus operation. Suppose strings are there. A, B, C, some X, Y, Z strings are there. Can you perform all? No. Very few operations possible. Many operations not possible. That is who will decide? Data type decides. Whether addition possible or not, whether multiplication possible or not, who will decide? Data type decides. That is data type. Data type means not only type of data. Data type only decides whether addition possible or not. Data type only decides whether subtraction possible or not. Data type only decides multiplication possible or not. That is data type. Okay. In JavaScript, 8 data types are there. Note down. In JavaScript, there are 8 data types. First one, number. Second one, string. Third one, Boolean. Fourth one, object. Fifth one, begin. Sixth one, undefined. Seventh one, null. Eighth one, symbol. See, is it matched with Java? No. Is it matched with Python? No. Is it matched with C#? No. C language? No. C++? No. It is one independent language. It is complete different. Complete different. That's what you have to concentrate. Even if you are familiar with other languages also, you have to concentrate. It is not matched, you observe. Identifiers, keywords, literals, data types. See, these are the 8 data types are there. 8 data types. Number, string, boolean, object, begin, undefined, null, symbol. Maximum times we use only 3. Object also we use, begin also we use. These 3 very rare. Maximum first priority these 3 will use, next these 2 we use, last this one in a programming. Okay. Now you observe data types are complete different. You compare with any language. C language also, C++ also, Java also, Python also, C# also. You compare with any language. It is different, no? Data types are different. Next, write it. JavaScript is dynamic typed language. Because JavaScript is dynamic typed language. JavaScript is dynamic typed language. Here, data type decided dynamically. Data type decided dynamically whenever we initialize value to a variable. Here data type decided dynamically whenever we initialize the value to a variable. JavaScript is dynamic typed language. Here data type decided dynamically whenever we initialize the value to a variable. So no need to write data type. Data type dynamically decided. It is also called as weakly typed language or loosely typed language, because it does not require to specify the data type. Say JavaScript is most important. You have to concentrate. You have to concentrate. Not like a HTML, not like a CSS. It is the most important. JavaScript is a dynamic typed language. Here data type decided dynamically whenever we initialize the value to a variable. It is also called as weakly typed language or loosely typed language because it does not require to specify the data type. That is the reason we are calling like that. Why we are calling dynamic typed? Dynamically decided. Type decided dynamically. That's what dynamic typed. Why we are calling weakly typed, loosely typed? No need to write data type. That is the reason we are calling weakly typed or loosely typed. Okay. So it is dynamic typed. Why we are calling dynamic typed is type decided dynamically. Suppose you will write here something a equal to 10 you will write. Then it is decided a nothing but integer number type. Number type. Suppose you will write a equal to ABC. You will write. Then it is decided a nothing but string type. Like that. Like that type decided automatically. That is the reason we are calling dynamic typed. But why we are calling weakly typed, loosely typed is it doesn't require to write data type. That's what loosely typed, weakly typed. But suppose Java is there. Can you write without data type? No. First you have to initialize, right? Declare variable compulsory with data type. That is strongly typed. It is weakly typed. So it is weakly typed language. That is strongly typed language. It is loosely typed also we'll call weakly or loosely. Now that is tightly typed. It is loosely typed. That is strong typed. This is weak typed. Like that. Like that we'll call it. So these many data types are there, but we are not going to write. Type decided automatically. Okay. Now identifiers remember, keywords remember, literals remember. Now data types remember. Okay. Now variables I'll explain. Then I'll give a coding. Okay. Next variables. A variable is a container that contains data. A variable is a container that contains data. Variable is a container that contains data. Say a equal to 10. A contains 10. A is a variable. So a equal to 10. Then a is a variable which contains 10. Like that we'll call it. Say next node. Here variables can be declared and initialized by using var keyword. Variable, here variables can be declared and initialized by using var keyword. So var a equal to 10, var a equal to ABC, var a equal to 10.5, like that you can write. Recently, let and constant keywords. Recently, let and constant keywords are introduced. Recently, let and constant keywords are introduced to declare or initialize variables. Recently, let and constant keywords are introduced to declare or initialize variables. So let and constant keywords also introduced to declare variable. But what is the difference between var, let, constant? 3, I'll explain. Now, better to prefer let, new style. Better to use let. Okay. Maximum old tutorials where appears because there is no let. Now let came. Use let only. Latest. Okay. But what's the difference between where also working? Where also working still. Where let constant. What's the difference? I'll explain with programming. Where you can write, let you can write, constant you can write. All you can write. Okay. Now. Now declaration. Note on. Declaration syntax. Declaration syntax. Where or let or constant. After that, variable name. Semicolon. Semicolon optional, but better to write. Assignment syntax. Assignment syntax. Variable name equal to literal. Semicolon. Declaration syntax. Assignment syntax. So you can use where or let or constant, variable name, semicolon. Assignment purpose, variable name equal to literal, semicolon. Initialization. I'll explain with the diagrams. Initialization syntax. Where or let or constant, variable name equal to literal, semicolon. Well, directly I'll give example in a program diagram. At the time only I'll give. So JavaScript is most important. Java, Python, .NET, like that. It is important language. Don't neglect. See. Where let constant variable name equal to literal. Like this you can initialize. Note. Here semicolon is optional. Here semicolon is optional. Not compulsory. Semicolon, if you write or not, it works. Flexibility they given. Without semicolon works, with semicolon works. Is it over? Now, JavaScript totally how many categories? Categories divided? JavaScript 3. What is the first one? JavaScript language basics. Second one, JavaScript client side JavaScript. Third one, server side JavaScript. Now, what you are learning? Language basics. How many? 10. Identifiers, keywords, literals, data types, variables. Next, type conversions. Next, operations on data. Next, program structure. Next, operators. Next, control statements. After completion of this one, HTML, CSS comes. Okay. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, I'll combine after completion of this. But present, what I'll do is JavaScript, many styles you can write, but you are learning client side JavaScript. Then HTML mandatory. That type only you have to learn. Okay. Now, these 5 basics I covered. This is later I'll show you. Directly program I'll show you. Okay. Program structure I'll show you now. How to write JavaScript program, first program, see. Say JavaScript program. Now, you already studied HTML tags. Categories you studied, no? Remembered or forgot? What's the category? Basic tags. Second category? Formatting tags. Third, order may be different. Okay, leave it. Basic tags you studied. Next, formatting tags you studied. Next, list tags you studied. Link tags, image tags, audio and video, form tags, frame tags. Next, meta tags. Meta tags you studied, no? Next, table tags, semantic tags, non-semantic tags. One more category is there.